Hello, welcome back. We've had well over 1,000 calls in the last hour and a half, and already it looks as though we've had some very important new leads.
Yeah, let's take first that armed robbery in a building site in Milton Keynes. It was in mid-August. A security guard was shot at point-blank range, but workers faced up to the gunman.
Let's get him!
Because of that extraordinary bravery by the men, the gang escaped with only about £1,500 worth of the cash. They got away in a dark blue Rover, which had been stolen 6 weeks before the robbery. Detective Superintendent John Childerley is in charge of the investigation. You've obviously had a tremendous response tonight.
Yes, as you can see, it's been tremendous. One in particular is very interesting, where a man has connections with all three areas of the inquiry.
Where does that information come from?
That's anonymous information, but a lot of information we get is anonymous, but still very good.
Your chief concern is the man in the yellow helmet who shot the Securicor driver without any obvious reason. There is the video fit of him with the helmet and with glasses and, of course, without. Just quickly describe him again.
He's 5'8", 30 years of age, slim build, and he was wearing a boiler suit at the time.
Right, and that blue Rover, which was stolen in Tunbridge Wells in early June, and which was used in the robbery in Milton Keynes early that morning on the 15th of August, those plates at the bottom, B523PH8, those are the plates at the time of the robbery.
And we're very keen still to trace people who may have seen the changeover from that vehicle to a second vehicle, which at this stage we've got no idea what it was.
Right, thanks very much. Remember, of course, there's a £5,000 reward, anybody who helps arrest these men. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, now the hunt for the killer of Leonie Cornell, or Leonie Keating as she became known. Earlier, police linked her murder in September with an attack on a woman in Great Yarmouth on the 27th of July. A brown Ford car, possibly a Cortina, was seen then and on the night that Leonie was abducted. Detective Chief Superintendent Eric Shields is in charge of the investigation, and I've never seen quite so many calls to the Crimewatch studio immediately after the programme as you have on this case.
Yes, we've had over 200 calls, some suggesting some very good information, which will be followed up earnestly when I return.
Any sightings of the man who might have abducted her, the man we had the description of?
We've had several reports of men answering that description, which I say will be followed up.
Perhaps we could look at the video fit again.
Yes, the man is described as being 25 to 45 years of age, 5'6" to 5'10" tall. He's got brown wavy hair, parted on the left, with a brown moustache. He was wearing at the time of two offences a camouflage jacket with dirty jeans and trainers.
And perhaps most important of all, we need to find that brown Ford car which was seen on the night Leonie was abducted on the 13th of September with a child sobbing in the back seat.
The car leaving that seashore camp at 10:30 p.m. that evening is most important, and I'm sure other people must have seen that car with Leonie in the back.
Please do call us if you have.
Now to bring us up to date with some of our appeals from Incident Desk and Photo Call, here are David Hatcher and Helen Phelps. Helen, can we start first with that dreadful rape in Sussex by Devil's Dyke?
Yes, the response we had was concerned mainly with the specific clues, the acne on the person's face, the cigarettes, and also this first aid box.
That was in his car?
Yes, we've had calls that relate to the commercial outlets of this box, so following those up.
Right, and I gather that you've heard from another person who was attacked, who was raped, and had never contacted the police before.
Yes, this has prompted a woman to phone up saying she was attacked in similar circumstances, so we must say that should anyone have information about this attacker, please phone. Right,
you were after Thomas Mooney, who was wanted in connection with a killing outside a pub in South London.
Yes, well, we asked for information on Mooney's whereabouts for the last 5 months, and we got it. And D.I. Scully is chasing those up now. Right. And a fraud involving a Belgian identity card, which is extraordinary because it seems that this is cropping up all over the place, this Belgian ID card fraud. But this man in particular, there's a picture of him. He was asked for in connection with a fraud in Chester. Yes, we already knew he was a travelling man, and the calls we've had tonight do seem to confirm that. In fact, there's one call that suggests he could be involved in an international fraud network, another one that could lead to his present identity and location right now. Right. David, the Sandy McClellan murder, first of all. What have you got?
Yes, this is a 66-year-old man who was found in a car boot in West Yorkshire, having come from Leeds. Now, we thought we had a laundry ticket. Now, somebody suggested that could be a meat ticket, possibly connected with an abattoir or a butcher's or something like that. And, of course, now we look at the F and the quarter, and that could mean forequarter. Or could it mean something else? If you recognise that salmon pink ticket and the writing, or just a ticket indeed, give us a call.
Indeed. Remember, of course, there's a murder at stake if you do recognise that. Also, the man who's been involved in a trail of building society robberies around North London, the latest just 6 days ago at Hampstead Garden Suburb. There he is.
That's right. That's the guy who's had a penchant for changing hats on these jobs. I've had a promising call on him. Remember, he's 25 to 35, 5'8", medium build. Think you know him. Still waiting for your call. Give us a ring.
Right, I gather, incidentally, one more piece of information, there's a £10,000 reward on one of the cases that we
That's right,
earlier.
Sid Dundon, remember the security guard who was shot at Acton in a raid on an express security van.
That's
raid.
the tattoo on his arm.
Tattoo on his arm, it's covered on the outside of the tattoo with blue and gold dots, and it's a bikini-clad figure, and there's some writing on the bottom half of the bikini. We're looking for a white man, 5'10", who's got that. Just to ease your conscience, there's £10,000 waiting for you to call.
David, Helen, thank you both very much indeed.
And we asked for your help with the mystery surrounding the death of Beverly Trendle. She was murdered almost a year ago at the end of October. Around that time, her neighbour remembers seeing something which surprised her, a rare visitor to Beverly's flat. And Detective Inspector Roger Parsons, what sort of response have you had?
We've had 2 calls from viewers regarding possible identities of the 2 gentlemen in the public house. We still haven't yet identified the half-caste coloured girl. Regarding the gentleman in the flat, though, we've had nothing on him, and I asked viewers again to look at that picture or try and remember if they saw anything. I know it's a year ago, but it is very important to this case.
And did anyone see her white Volkswagen Beetle with the red doors a year ago, with perhaps somebody else driving it?
We've had a good response to the car, but as I said, we must impress on viewers, this car, it still is around in the Hayes area. I know where it is, but I wish to know about it a year ago. Not now, because I'm aware where it is. I'd like everybody to think more of the public house and this man that was seen at the window of Beverly's flat.
Right,
and I feel they could help us, please.
Right, did anyone know the car and Beverly a year ago?
Finally tonight, that armed robbery last August on a Liverpool businessman, Andy Christian. 2 weeks before the attack, Andy's office's Amber Line coaches were broken into in the early hours of the 2nd of August. Then 2 weeks later, he was attacked at home. Detective Inspector Jeff Harrison, you've had a lot of calls, presumably most of them from Liverpool.
Yes, I'm very pleased. We've had excellent response tonight from members of the public, providing vital information. I also feel that the ferocity of the attack has brought the Liverpool criminal fraternity to mind, and they've also rung in with information.
They're so sickened at the unprovoked use of violence.
I would say so, yes.
You were looking for this wallet, or at least this is a facsimile of the wallet that Andy Christian had stolen from him. The initials JAC, which presumably the thieves would have discarded somewhere.
That's correct, yes.
There's a lot of money in there, £50 notes. Have you heard anything about that?
We have too, yes. All around the northwest, people are ringing in where £50 notes have been passed in suspicious circumstances, and all those will be followed up and inquiries will be made.
Right, Inspector Harrison, thank you. Once again, £2,000 reward on that one. No questions asked if you help arrest these men.
Well, our lines are closing now, but we'll give you local police numbers in a moment, and they're all on CFAX on page 186. If you'd like to write to us in confidence, this is the address: Crimewatch UK, BBC Television Centre, London W12 8QT.
Thank you for watching, assuming you did. Thank you for calling. If you did, please don't have nightmares. Do sleep well. Good night.
Good night.